So welcome everyone to the finale event. In fact, it's not quite the finale, and I will tell you a lot more about it. But here we are. I am here with my good friend and XRSI board member, April Boyd-Noronha. Welcome to the key event of XR Safety Awareness Week. In fact, all of the events have been very, very significant. I am really honored and thrilled to now do what we call is the recap of year 2020 and then take you to give you a little bit of idea of what to expect in 2021 in XR from XRSI and in general in the metaverses, in the multiverses, what to expect. So welcome and thank you for celebrating with us this XR Safety Awareness Week. We are XRSI, XR Safety Initiative. We organize this entire week together with a lot of different stakeholders, and I want to just name a few. We have, Medical XR Council. We have Child Safety Initiative. We have several different programs that I will be diving deeper into. But to start with, let me share a little bit about what XRSI is all about. So XRSI Safety Initiative is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are a standard developing organization. We're worldwide global organization, and we help build safe and inclusive environments, inclusive XR immersive environments. And the way we do it is by bringing together lots of different interdisciplinary experts from various domains. Together we work on research. We also look for funding opportunities for various different folks and different domains, as well as do this awareness events where we know and understand that safety should remain as the forefront of these emerging technologies. So that is our core message this entire week. And we're just so thrilled that you're able to join us live stream and as well as in world. I'm Kavya Pearlman. A lot of you may know me before. I am the founder of XR Safety Initiative. This organization started in 2019, and within about a year and a change, we have done a lot, which we are going to be talking about. And I'm going to hand this over to my board member, my good friend, and a really trusted advisor who I look to every time I have to think of inclusion, diversity, and a lot of other scientific pursuits that we must do in these emerging domains. So, April, I am so thankful to you for being here with me and being here throughout this journey, being my co-pilot together with Marco Magnano, who is not here, but we would at some point have a message from him. So please share with us whatever you believe should be a message we want to send out to the world as we come to closing this event as well as the entire year and look to 2021.
You, Kavya, and it's mutually agreed that I've enjoyed this journey with you and Marco as well. And the unique perspective that I bring to the XR initiative is that the coalition serves as the diversity and inclusion arm of XRSI. So when they launch or release research or launch a new initiative, we're to serve it as that kind of angel sitting on their shoulder to make sure that the diversity and inclusion components are a part of it. Case in point, I don't want to go too far ahead of what Kavya is going to explain, but in the research that we've launched for the competition part for the privacy framework that they announced, one thing that we were very clear on along with them in that process was to make sure that we actively engage a diverse and inclusive environment or persons or users, part of the ecosystem in that project. And so I had suggested, or the coalition and I suggested that make sure they set aside some of the awards monies for awarding those that come from a marginalized population, because most likely they may not be actively engaged as much as other populations or those that are actively engaged in the XR ecosystem. So it's matters such as that where the voice, the vision, the representation really matters. We just yesterday wrapped up D&I Day, and that was one of the themes we heard throughout the day. Representation does matter from a Latinx perspective, from an African American male perspective, from an African American female perspective, from a perspective of someone that may have accessibility concerns. All of that matters, especially when building the frameworks or introducing something new to the XR ecosystem.
And April, we've
And
done so much together. I want you to point out
yeah,
to some of the key highlights that you have been able to accomplish. So XRSI runs various programs, and April Boyd-Noronha, she is the lead of CyberXR Coalition. So what has CyberXR Coalition done so far? I'm aware of it. I just want to, for the benefits of everyone,
mm-hmm.
let's talk about
Right,
what the key highlights this year.
right. And this is one of the key things that the coalition is so proud that we launched for the XR community and the ecosystem as a whole. Standards Guide, I think it was about in May, where we knew that there are a lot of components to this diversity and inclusion concept or initiative in not only the XR community, but at large. But we narrowed it down to 4 principles, and you can see here of accessibility, inclusion, ethics, and safety, a blueprint or a framework of helping and encouraging those both in and outside of the XR ecosystem to make sure that these principles are baked within the very fiber of the framework of any standards or guidelines that they can abide by. And it's not necessary to abide by, but to just make sure that it is fundamentally a part of that culture or that baked within that release as far as like a software developer, that those components are baked within the mindset of that next best great product or service, because we find a lot of times that it just simply is an afterthought, and we do not want that to be the case moving forward in this XR ecosystem. You know, another great thing, just in reflecting of 2020, is that the coalition, barely a year old. I mean, we hit the ground running. We started out, pitching to be on panels and to promote our narrative, and towards almost the end of the year, we were getting invited, and I mean, we were even invited to close down or be a keynote panel for an event. So that was a great honor for the coalition to do that, to come collectively and share our perspectives. And 2 perspectives that we proudly kind of wore as our badge, our badge of honor, were to shift the narrative, shift the mindset of what has and is currently the mindset within the XR ecosystem. So we were proud to kind of position ourselves to be the champion of shifting the mindset within the XR ecosystem. And then another one that we that kind of ties into the framework that the XRSI released was, the new role of XR or in XR. And that's kind of where we shifted, well, not necessarily shifted, but further incorporated the privacy principle of one of the pillars of many that need to really be in the forefront within the XR ecosystem. And most recently, I kind of talked about, and I hope that all of y'all have joined us this week, yesterday being D&I Day, and I think we had tallied some votes, some statistics. And I mean, in that 11-hour live stream, guys, 11 hours live streaming everything about D&I from various perspectives, various industries. And so we further expanded the mindset in the live stream that we did, produced by Tim Stiflerd, his username there. But so we were proud to bring that collaborative effort to fruition within that 11-hour live stream yesterday as part of the XR Safety Awareness Week for D&I Day. So a lot has happened. A lot will continue to happen. I'm proud to announce, and I got the okay to say this, that the CyberXR Coalition has agreed to partner with the Girl Scouts in further engaging that next gen, the girls, the females, or those are that are non-binary persons in that realm of, that's a collective audience, a global perspective. So we're working proudly announcing today that we are going to work with the Girl Scouts in creating an XR uh, curriculum and engagement activities, not only with them, but even in alignment with the theme of the Child Safety Day this week. We're working with the parents and the families. So not only the girls, so we are further expanding that knowledge base of what XR is, or in general, just getting into XR.
That is so awesome. And sometimes really, I can't believe that we are able to do so much. How could I
Yeah,
possibly deliver all this without your help? And, that's why Marco Magnano, who is the other board of director, he's not here today, but, he's our other pillar. So together we are the
yeah,
co-pilots of the ship, and we are going into these emerging technologies with safety and inclusion right at the forefront. Thanks to
yes.
April, she's always keeping me honest. If I ever forget, she is right there by me, telling me and reminding all of us and guiding us, which is so incredible. So I want to get to, what XRSI has been able to do in 2020. If I may just place myself in a place where I'm able to see what's behind me. Okay. So, and April, I'm sorry, I don't mean to kick you off the stage. Please
No, no,
sit
no.
next to me.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so in 2020, as we know, it's been such a challenging year for everyone. We realized that a lot of the people were developing applications, contact tracing apps. So XRSI jumped in mostly to learn about what kind of research is going on, how the data is being used or abused, and then we offered what we called a free privacy review for COVID-19 contact tracing apps. And we learned a lot about the technology, and that was the main intention, is to be the researcher and be the neutral, observer of what people are doing. And people are really, initially at least, until a lot of the regulatory guidance arrived, people took the data and did a lot of different things. So we learned a lot from that. Various charitable organizations contributed to this effort as well. They supported by funding this particular effort. So I'm really grateful, one of them being Saya University. They are our partners in awareness around cybersecurity, and that was really great. Tim, if we could go to the next slide, I'm going to another key partnership that we announced, and I want to talk about medical XR. In the medical XR domain, we announced this partnership with Bob Fine with IVRHA IVRA, International Virtual Reality Healthcare Association. And this partnership has opened several other avenues for us to, again, continue the research and learn from each other and exchange knowledge. IVRA has now, I think, about 100 plus members and growing. And these members are not just members, these are significant organizations working at the cross section of medical and XR domain. So really was one of the key highlights. And if we could go to the next slide. Yesterday, during XR Safety Awareness Week, we announced this partnership with HEE, Health Education England, which is an arm of national NHS in the UK. And the key part here is they are the largest, the third largest, one of the largest actually organization that do so much training activities. So workforce development. And as we know, we have all moved to online and virtual environments. That's exactly where this organization fits in. And we're just really thrilled to partner with them. So we want to make sure that as they develop workforce training, safety and inclusion remains at the forefront, and we'll be exchanging tremendous amount of information with them and learning from them. And together we will develop frameworks, standards, guidelines for the medical XR domain. And if we could go to the next slide. Earlier this year, as this made quite a lot of headlines, it was the very first ever XR privacy framework. This is a framework that came in with a sense of urgency. We realized how certain big tech organizations are moving fast and they are building things with profit at the forefront, and we wanted to make sure that privacy, safety, inclusion, and ethics, all of that remains in the forefront. So this framework gives organizations, big tech, regulatory entities, a sort of a blueprint or a guideline as to how we can safely navigate these things. What are the controls that you need to build in? And it provides a common language for all of us to speak. So it has 4 focus areas: assess, inform, manage, and prevent. And not just protect, but prevent, because in XR domain you cannot unsee things once you've seen it, so we have to prevent harm proactively. With this is exactly what April was just talking about. Was literally, when this framework came about, we asked for submission, and because of April, we are emphasizing a lot of the impact that comes from, underprivileged or marginalized community. So making sure that we take their voices and bake it into this next development of this framework. So thank you, April, for that. If we could go to the next slide.
Hello, everyone.
And sorry, this is me. Yeah, and I believe this is a message from Marco. Let's play that, Tim, if you don't mind. This is a message from Marco Magnano, who is not able to join us, but is one of our board members, and he is sending this message from Italy.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you again. I'm Marco Magnano, and I'm the Director of Communication at XRSI and founder of the Ready Hacker One media platform. What to say about 2020? Well, of course, it's been a challenging year, marked by, as you all know, by the elephant in the room, the COVID-19 pandemic, and here in Europe it's been particularly hard. But it's also been a year of transformation, and for XRSI, it's been the real kickoff for many initiatives. Some of them have already been illustrated by the other board members, but let me take you in what happened in the department of our media branch, the one I'm honored to represent. For the whole year, we created a wonderful team who worked on the launch of Singularity Watch, a VR podcast, or timeline, as we love to say, where we explore the immersive revolution in every field of our lives, from the data management to the healthcare, from gaming to art and to storytelling. And it started this way.
Some things you'll fear, and rightly so. Some things are unfamiliar, yet you may fear them just as much, harmless as they may be. And some things, some very dangerous things, will quietly slip past, and you'll not flinch with the slightest alarm. As our worlds shift and are forever changed, new technologies race toward us, on course to shape our futures, both for better and for worse. We are the Singularity Watch. Join us for a safer, more aware journey into the emerging realities.
Speaking of art and storytelling, have you watched the panel I just moderated a couple hours ago with great figures like Nancy Baker Kyle, Jesse Damiani, Gali Tariel, and Keisha Howard? Well, it's worth your time. But let's get back to Singularity Watch. The voice you heard in the trailer is Oliver, our host, who's researching in the field of virtual rehabilitation and a real Beat Saber champion. But it's not just me and him, so come with us on radiohacker1.com or on YouTube and find all the other great members of this wonderful team. How did it start? So, we started with an internationally recognized neuroscientist like Sophia Batchelor, and then we moved to child safety, journalism, space exploration, healthcare, and much, much more. And this is just the beginning. Tomorrow, a new episode is set to be released, closing our XR Safety Awareness Week where it started, from gaming and from protecting the children. We will meet Rodrigo Tamellini Ayres, the founder of and CEO of a Gamer Safer platform. You can find all the episodes, as I said, on YouTube and on our website, readyhacker1.com. And here comes the other big news of 2020. At the end of October, we officially launched the Ready Hacker One as a media platform. Everything started with a long form about the fifth domain of war, the cyber domain, and with a strong statement about the right to repair. And in these days, you can find there a lot of exclusive content for the XR Safety Awareness Week. Starting from 2021, Ready Hacker One is gonna grow and publish regularly, so be sure to not miss anything by subscribing to our upcoming newsletter. 2021 is gonna be a massive year, let me say this. XR technologies are becoming more and more popular and affordable, and this is why we are gonna be more and more present, creating more timelines and proposing an original point of view on this emerging domain. As I love to say, immersive media is no longer a shiny new toy, so we must think about it as a media, not as a gadget. The new worlds that we are building on top of our perceived reality bring along many challenges, and we want to be here to face them, not by scaring anybody, this is useless, but by holding hands and moving on to a world with such a big potential. Let me close with a final note. 2021 is gonna be the year of XRSI's landing to Europe. The European Commission is taking the emerging technology regulation very seriously, and this is one of the places to be to address the challenges of today and the challenges of tomorrow. So, let me say this, our journey is just started.
Awesome. And there are so many times that I'm like, wow, this is something, I'm so honored to be joined by Marco, who is himself a journalist, a worldwide journalist. He's a broadcaster, as well as, in 2021, we look to him to help us build this awareness platform and grow it. And so please, follow him on Ready Hacker One, where we're going to be able to absorb news, not the news that you just need to read and clickbait, news that really matters. Things like right to repair. This was the first time ever, just about a few months ago, where, we actually informed the industry that there is a dire need for right to repair for these XR devices. It's appalling to XRSI that some of the big tech companies have been selling hardware for 6 years, yet they have not even made a statement or a policy, and no one has looked into right to repair, because right to repair is this right that allows us to tinker with our devices. As a cybersecurity researcher myself, I'm highly interested in those explorations, as well as we don't want to be disposing each and every device anytime anything goes wrong with it. With climate change, right to repair is really something that helps us deal with that issue. If we could go to the next slide. Now, I'm really honored and glad to announce another amazing announcement we just made earlier during the panel at Art and Media Day, is this guide, which is Extended Reality Guide for Artists. And this is a very simple guide, but there is 2 levels to it. One chapter is the basic cyber hygiene. So what you need to do to stay cyber aware and to stay safe and secure. But then another chapter is, how do you navigate these uncharted territory? It includes some of the experts from some of the chapters from privacy framework and just other insights. One of the key aspects that it includes is April coalition has put together these goals, which is like 5 specific goals, which is human-centric and, build more rules to protect people. These kinds of goals are already mentioned in there. So when you don't know how to build these worlds and what kind of ethical principles to apply, you can download this guide and learn from what is within this guide. And it's available for free download at xrsi.org today. And if we could go to the next slide. And so we also launched just this week, together with a lot of these esteemed people that I had the honor to work with, Maria Olivia Tamalini, who is the COO of Gamer Safer, Tim Stifler-Dean, who has graciously conducted this entire week as the program director, and who himself runs several channels on YouTube, and is a big Minecrafter and a community leader. Tomas Henning, our trust and safety advisor, myself, and of course Lawrence Wagner. So this child safety initiative would now allow us to focus on preventing harm towards children, which, by the way, is a massive issue in these technologies, because just checking the box that I'm over 18 is not enough, or I'm over 13. There is a lot more technological and other controls that need to be in place. There is a huge level of awareness that we need to conduct. Parental controls need to be real. Parental guidance need to be. So along with this, I believe we have a slide on that as well. There is a infographic that was also launched geared towards children. So if you guys, if you have children, this is something that you can hand over to them. 13 plus is what we are talking about. Thus far, there has been no reliable guidance for what can parents do about children. And so we decided that it is quite urgent, specifically now, as we know that people are going to find presents, some white presents, some other colored presents, but basically these devices are now making their way into our living rooms, into our bedrooms. So what are children supposed to do? Where is the guidelines? And that's why this is just a little infographic that we put together. I love this Captain Cuddle mascot. And along with this, we have another infographic that is geared towards parents. What can parents do to make sure that the children are safe? Just top 7 safety tips and these resources are freely available on xrsi.org and the research and develop standard section. And if we could go to the next slide. And so with that, I just want to conclude this with a message that our journey has only just started. And this message is practically for all of you who worry about privacy and identity in the XR domain. You're not alone. In fact, we are right here at the forefront together with you. The big tech firms are building walls while we attempt to build bridges, walls of monopoly, cemented by billions of dollars being spent to collect massive amount of data on citizens around the world under the guise of what we call research, or what they call research. And we've sort of decided to, stand up to these things. So as we look to 2021, here's what I want you to remember. In a world where demagogues appeal to our worst instincts, conspiracy theories are peddled all around the mainstream media through not just some anti-social element, but also via the loudest voices with millions of followers on social media. In an era where scientific inquiry and critical thinking is ending, and we are moving fast towards a point of singularity without a pause or reflection on the risk and reward that come along with this velocity. In this domain, minorities such as myself are afraid to speak oftentimes the truth for the fear of retaliation. We recently just saw a firing of an AI ethicist. I am outraged, and that's why I'm here to share with you that do not despair. We are here. XRSI is here, along with Cyber XR Coalition, Medical XR Council, Ready HackerOne, and now this new initiative, Child Safety Initiative. So I'm here, we are here, along with a lot of caring, lot of thoughtful and lot of brilliant people who will help us navigate these uncharted territories with awareness around safety, privacy, ethics, and overall well-being for humanity. And with that, I invite you to our last and final day of awareness where we will just go beyond the universe, hang out in AllSpace VR with a group of performers led by our spatial sound advisor, DJ, and he's a DJ himself, DJ Zyron. So please join me tomorrow along with XRSI team, and we're going to have so much fun. I took the chapter and advice from one of our Singularity Watch hosts, Jesse Damiani. He said we need to depressurize, we need to have fun, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And as always, we will continue to have fun and help continue navigate this uncharted territory with safety and awareness. I do want April to say a few words as a closing message. April, what, as now you, as you know, and I'm glad to announce that you are now the president of Cyber XR Coalition, what is the message that you want to send to us as we end this week?
And you know, another resounding tone for D&I Day was that, and I agree, is that, you know, the XR ecosystem, it's bright, it's the future, it's global, and we're here to help ensure that that happens. So we are uniquely positioned to do that from a global perspective, from the collaboration that we've established and will continue to establish on into 2021.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm sorry I skipped this slide earlier, but thank you. That's why we have slides, so I don't forget anything. And honestly, this is just, you know, such beautiful visual, but what is really remarkable about this announcement is we have partnered with Kaleidoscope to to distribute a grant award. Basically, every 3 months, we will give away 2,500 US dollars to artists who submit their projects for safety and awareness. So any kind of an immersive media project that you're working on, if it creates any kind of a safety geared towards children, minority, medical XR, any domain, please submit your projects over at kaleidoscope.fun and we will review these projects. April herself is one of the board members at the grant, so I am really delighted that we are keeping inclusion and diversity at the forefront as well. And if you guys have any questions, there is the question mark button over here. You could please move to this section and then you'd be able to ask questions. And April and I would be hanging around for a while, so